Hi there, my name's Christopher. Let's take a look at Cribbage in Carte Blanche. So, get started as usual by choosing who's going to be the dealer, and I'm going to pick this, and it is I. Cribbage is interesting because the dealer is actually super important in this game. In some games, it's just a means to decide who's going to play first for a round, but in Cribbage, the dealer gets a little bit of a bonus, which you'll see in a bit. So every round in Cribbage, you get 6 cards, and you need to discard 2 of them so that you're left with a 4-card hand. And why you might choose one card over another to keep or discard will make sense in a bit, but for now, I'm going to discard these. And Blanche is going to do the same. So we've each discarded 2 cards, which is 4 total, and that's what's in the crib there, which you can kind of see near my cards at the bottom. And now in this part of the game, we're going to be playing cards back and forth and keeping track of the total of all the cards that we've played so far. So Blanche played an ace and she said 1 because that's how much aces are worth. And I'm going to play this 8, which will make me say 9. And now she's played a 7, so we're at a 16. So the point of this part of the game is to get that count as close to 31 as possible. If you can get exactly 31, then that's the best. But as close as you can get, try to get it so that your opponent can't play a card without taking it over 31, for example. So I don't really have much of an option. Suits don't matter in this game for the most part, so certainly not for this part. And I don't really have an option. I'm going to play a 4, no matter what it is. Oh, perfect. Okay, so you'll see the count is now 27. When I play this 4, that's to 31. I get 2 points for doing that. And the points are tracked on the board, which is on the right there. So we start in the top left corner and go clockwise. So I've got 2 points. My little black peg at the top there is at the 2-point mark. We continue then to play cards. So once we got to 31, we clear all the cards away. We start again. She played an ace again, is at 1. I play my 4. And then I get what's called 1 for go. I'll explain that in a second. You can see here we're counting up the points in the hand. So this is Blanche's hand. She had a pair of aces, a pair of 7s, and a queen. So each hand is worth some number of points for a number of categories. So there are sort of 5 different categories that could score you points. The ones that counted for her hand, she had a pair. She had 2 pairs, actually, the 2 aces and the 2 7s. And then any cards that add up to 15. So, for example, the 2 7s and an ace add up to 15. And then she could do the 2 7s and the other ace. That's a different 15. So that counts for another 2 points. She gets a total of 8. And you can see that it's been marked on the board over there on the side. Now we'll go to my hand, which is going to score for 3 pairs. A 3 of a kind is sort of a sneaky way to have 3 different pairs of cards. So that's worth 6 points, but that's all I have. I don't have anything else particularly great in this hand, but that's okay. Now my crib. So the crib is the set of 4 cards that we set aside at the beginning. So I discarded 2, Blanche discarded 2, that leaves 4. They get given to the dealer for that round, and they get scored as a separate hand. So in addition to the 4 cards that I had for my hand, I also get the points for this crib. And it looks like there was a pair of 6s and then some 15s, because the 9 and the 6 and then the other 9 and the 6 count for points. So I get 6 points for this hand, which is kind of nice. So it's a little off balance because the dealer gets to score 2 hands, but one of those hands they don't really have much control over, and the role of dealer swaps between rounds. So I was the dealer this time, but when we move to the next round, you'll see the crib marker moves to the other side because this time Blanche is the dealer and she's going to get the crib. So when you're choosing which cards to keep or discard, part of it is deciding what cards you want to keep to have a valuable hand. Since the hand's worth points, at the end of the round you want to have a powerful hand. So like keeping this 10 and this 5 might be nice because those add up to 15. The 2 and the 3 are kind of close to a run. We didn't have it happen, but if you have cards in consecutive order, that's also worth points. So like maybe I want to keep the 2 and the 3 and hope for either an ace or a 4 to show up. Let's see. I don't quite know what I want to do, so I'm actually going to do the 8 and the 6. Why not? So So since Blanche is the dealer this time, I'm going to go first. But another thing to call out is you can see that we've got the king of diamonds over on the right there. That actually has very little to do with this part of the game. This is to do with scoring the hands. So you may have noticed when the hands were being scored before, we actually were looking at 5 cards. It's the 4 cards in your hand plus this card that's drawn at the beginning of the round, and each hand gets to use that. So I'll get to use it, then Blanche will use it for her hand, and she'll also use it when she scores the crib. So we can actually just right now look at my hand and see how many points it's worth. We have the 10 and the 5 add up to 15. The 10 and the 3 and the 2 add up to 15. And then face cards also count for 10. So the king and the 2 and the 3 is another 15, and the king and the 5 is another 15. So that's 4 15s, 2 points each. So my hand is worth 8 points, which is not too bad. But since Blanche is the dealer, I start our little counting game, which we have to do first. So we'll go with a 3. Okay. In this, we're getting all the perfect examples for me to explain how this game works. I promise I did not set this up. This little counting game, we're trying to get the count up to 31, but there are other ways to score along the way, and one of them is to get the count to exactly 15. So the count is now 13, and I have a 2, and if I play it, I get 2 points for getting us to 15, which is nice and exciting and great. So I cannot play this 10 because that would bring the count to 33, and that's not allowed. So even if I do it, it's like, no, you can't play that one. But I can play the 5, and I must. There's no passing in this game. So the go, I brought the count up to 28. I've actually lost track now, but I think it was 28. And Blanche did not have a card that she can play. So she says go. And then it comes back to me, and I would play any cards that I could legally play, but again, I had the 10, it was too many. So because I was the last one to play cards, and I kind of forced my opponent to sort of give up their turn because they didn't have any legal cards to play, that's called the go. You get 1 point for that. If I had gotten the count to exactly 31, I would get 2 points instead, but I just got the 1. Very nice, and she gets a point for the go just because that's how the round's always going to end that way. All right, so you can see that scored up exactly the way I predicted, which is nice. It's nice to know that doing this live, I could score a cribbage hand at this point. We'll go to the next one. Ooh, now Blanche has some 7s and 8s. Those are nice little 15s. That's about it though, so not too bad. We're keeping pretty even, but she is going to score the crib now. A little bit of a mess, that crib. Nothing exciting there. Sorry, Blanche. All right. Now, I am the dealer this time. And, I don't have a good, strong plan for this one, so we're just going to roll with this and see how it goes. 10. So let's do this and see what happens. Look at this. This is very nice. So I can bring the count to 31. That's 2 points for me. Woohoo. So I'm going to play the 6 to try to take us over 15, just on the off chance that she has a 2 and the 3 would be a bad choice. That wouldn't have mattered. Very nice. Ooh, that's a lot of 15s. Very nice. Well done, Blanche. Me, on the other hand, not so great. 4 points. Hey, nothing in the crib though. No points. Fun fact: this is the cribbage fact that I think everybody talks about when they're speaking to somebody who doesn't know about cribbage. But the hands can be worth various numbers of points. The highest possible hand is 29, but there are some numbers you can't get, and you cannot, for example, get 19 points. There's no combination of cards that results in 19 points. So there's sort of a joke, with some air quotes around the word joke perhaps, that when you get a hand that's actually worth 0 points, you call it a 19-point hand, because it's like, oh, look at that, it's another 19. Yes, I can't even make it sound as funny as I think it's supposed to be, but I'm gonna keep these pairs, and it does not pay off. Okay, well, what can you do? Oh, 15. Eh? Well, now, I don't think this came up earlier. Another way... Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's a 6. Never mind. Forget what I was going to say. But we can get to 31, and that is points. 31 is points. We like points around here. So the game is played to 121, typically. You could play a shorter game. I'm actually just going to skip this for right now, just so we can get into some more interesting hands. That one was not particularly interesting. You could play a shorter game by playing to something like 61 if you want, but typically it's 121, and that's how Blanche likes to play. So that would be 2 laps around this board that you can see. Ooh, nibs. Another fun scoring tidbit. So when we flip the card over on the right-hand side there, like I said, it doesn't really factor into this part of the game, unless it's a jack. If it is a jack, then the dealer gets 2 points for his nibs, 2 for his nibs. So that I do promise I did not set this up. We're just getting everything that I wanted to showcase in a game of cribbage all in one session. Okay, what do we want here? I don't know. We'll just play a 9. That was the worst choice I could have made. I had no way of knowing. Oh, she had a 3 anyway. Then I don't think it would have mattered. Maybe if I'd played the 7, but she was all set. She didn't know it. She was all set. Now this is a nice hand. So here's a run. I don't think we had a run before, but a run of consecutive cards, 3 or more cards that is worth points equal to the size of the run. So she has 2 different 3, 4, 5s. Again, the suits don't really matter for most things in this game, but. Ooh, I have a 5-card run. So I had the 4-card run in my hand, 7, 8, 9, 10. But again, we all get to use this jack as a 5th card when we're scoring. So I actually get a 5-card run, which is fun. Oh, and I have 15. I kind of didn't even realize. I don't know. Paying attention to too many things. All right, we're about halfway through the game. Blanche has got a couple points on me, and it is her turn to be dealer, which means she's probably going to get a bunch of points. Well, I don't like to split a pair, but I like these 15s. I think I got rid of a 6 too, and that would have been nice. I should have well, whatever. Let's get going. 3. Ooh, a 4. Not a particularly exciting run. Sometimes it's just kind of by the numbers. You know, this is where I would be talking with Blanche about our day, what we did that day. Oh, another, wow, it's working out perfectly. I'm serious. I'm flabbergasted by how perfect this is. The other thing one of the other things you could score for, we haven't had a flush yet, but one of the things that you could score for is if you have the jack that is the same suit as the card that we flipped over, so this 9 of hearts. If you have, in this case, the jack of hearts, that is worth 1 point for what's called knobs. So yeah, I get a little bonus point for that, in addition to my small handful of 15s. Blanche, it's only got 2, not too bad. I don't have to be too scared. Aha! This is perfect. Man, I need to remember this and write this down and use this as an example game for all eternity. So 4 cards, if the 4 cards in your hand are the same suit, then that is a flush and it's worth 4 points. If the turn card on the side of the screen here is also the same suit, then it would be a 5-card flush instead and worth 5 points. The exception to that is the crib. In the crib, you can only score the full 5-card flush. If you have a 4-card flush in the crib, it does not score points, which is exactly what happened here. If this were Blanche's hand, she would have gotten 4 points for the flush in her hand. But because it's the crib, it needs to be the full 5 or you don't get to score it at all. But she does have a couple 15s, so she still gets points, just not as many as if it were her hand. All right. My crib. I'm going to get rid of this 8 and 9 because it leaves me with some fun 15s. Maybe this is me getting too emotional about it, but I love a fun 15. You know, like 8 and 7, that's standard. 10 and 5, everybody does that. But a 10 ace and a 4, I don't know. I just like the shape of that 15. Okay. He's got a pair of 6s. Oh, and 9s. Oh no, look at this. So a pair and then just a whole mess of 15s. Okay, so they're boring 15s, but boring 15s are worth points too, so maybe I should be a little bit more scared. These are fun though, look at that. That's, you know, that's just a fun 15. Am I the only one who thinks of fun 15s? Probably. Let's see, now that's a fun 15. 8, 2, and 5? Who does that? All right. See, I'm tempted once again. Like this 4 ace tempting me again, but I don't think it's wise. I don't think I should. Yeah. I don't think I should. So I'm going to get rid of this 4 and 5 and hope that it doesn't turn into a run for her, because that would be sad. It did. It did turn into the best run she could possibly get, because a 4, 5, 6 is not only a 3-card run, but it also adds up to 15. And in this case, I'm going to qualify it as a not fun 15, even though usually I probably would call it one. Oh, so we haven't had a lot of scoring opportunities in the play phase in a while, but I had mentioned there are a couple other ways to get points as we play, and one of them is to have played cards in consecutive play that are in consecutive order. Now, they don't actually have to be played in order. So for example, what you can see I'm going to do here is play a 9, and 9, 10, and Jack are consecutive cards. It's 3 consecutive cards. They're not played in order here. It's 10, Jack, 9, but it doesn't matter. As long as there's no cards in between them, then this counts for points. So that counts as a 3-card run, and I get 3 points for it. She played an ace, but now it's my turn, and I have an ace, so I get the 2 points for the pair, which I think has come up before, and 2 points for 31. So that was a fun little session there. I was mostly excited about having another example to show, and I didn't really spend a lot of time focusing on it, but that's fine. My hand is terrible. Did I really? I thought I left myself with a better hand. I think I made a mistake. Didn't I have a 5? Oh, that's right. Why did I give that up? I have no idea. I don't know what I did, but it was a bad mistake. Oh no. Oh no! Wow. Wow. I'm gonna lose. That's okay. Blanche and I are friends. Okay. I got quiet for a second as I was trying to figure out what I want to do here, but we're just gonna... Oh, okay. Oh, so I've been paying attention. I think that means she has another 4, 5, 6. Legitimate this time. It's not one that I handed to her. She kept that herself. Wow. Okay, so as you can see from the scoreboard there, we're getting a little close to the end of the game, and one of us is in triple digits. One of us is not. And it is I who is not. Oh, man. Oh, man, this is tough. Okay. See, now, here's what I'm thinking. This is not particularly great play here, but I am noticing that I've got 2 8s and then cards that add up to 7, and I just kind of like... You know, it's a fun 15. I'm a little too emotional. Fun 15s. So 8, 4, 3 is a 15, and that would be 2 of them plus the pair of 8s. But that would mean I'm giving up a 9 and a 6, which is also a 15. But is it worth it for me to give her a 4, 3 that is almost certainly going to turn into a run? Oh, I don't know. I think I'm going to go with the fun 15s. Fun 15s all the way. I don't think a 10 does anything particularly great for me. Okay, standard 15s. And so just to clarify, if I played this 8, it would not give me any points. It's not playing cards that add up to 15. It's getting the count specifically to 15. So this would bring the count to 23, which is not a fun magic number of any sort. But I'm going to do it anyway. Ooh, yes. So now 31. Haha. I've scored some points. Okay. We'll see how we go here. Yeah, fun 15s. Fun 15s. Okay. Regular 15s. Regular 15s. A lot of them. Oh no. Oh no. Blanche wins. Okay. Well, I hope we all learned some things. I know I certainly did. So that is how to play cribbage with Blanche. I mean, it's how you play cribbage with anybody, but that's what a game of cribbage is like with Blanche. I hope you enjoyed watching my wonderful gameplay and fantastic skill of Fun 15s. I'd still stand by it. Fun 15s all the way. Okay, so if you are interested in checking out any of the other games, there are separate videos for each of those, and there's also an overview video that goes over the entire Carte Blanche experience. So do feel free to check those out, and if you need any more information or want to check up for updates, you can go to carteblanche.cards. Thanks for watching. See you at the table.